Welcome back to the channel. What's going on, Georgia Tech fans? Yes, sir, man. We is in Charlotte. We in the telly. Yes, sir. Tomorrow is ACC Media Day, starting in the afternoon. Georgia Tech will be on the docket. Coach Brent Key, several veterans are going to be in the building to talk to the media about everything they got going on this season. It's almost here. We are in mid-July. Mid-July. We taught Georgia Tech how good they're going to be in 2026. All right, y'all, what's going on, man? Welcome back to the channel, man. Got a special video for you guys today. I did a little bit earlier in the week what to watch for, but now we're going to talk about the nitty-gritty with Georgia Tech officially going to ACC Media Days here in Charlotte, and they're going to be talking to the media about this upcoming season. I'm excited because this is a chance for Georgia Tech to show, hey, we coming for it, right? We not. You can sleep on us if you want to in these preseason polls, because like I said, the season is basically here. Fall camp is right around the corner, but we going to show, hey, even with a little bit of chatter, we are here to stay. We got to stay in power, okay? Now, when we talk about Georgia Tech, right, first off, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hype the video, and all that good stuff. We're going to look at their schedule and talk about the realness of how good they can be, right? Now, we're going to go offensive side of the ball with Georgia Tech, all right? When it comes to Georgia Tech, how can they be good? Number one, this offensive line has to perform. Nothing is going to make Georgia Tech good this year if the offense is not playing at a level that is conducive to success, right? I think this year they have more depth at the position. We look at Courtney Hurd, right, being able to back up some of these guys and these starters potentially for them. They got, obviously, Markel Bell. They obviously got Favorite Edgewin. Jordan Floyd's in the mix as well. They got some guys. But the starting five, the cohesion is going to have to be there. The Kevin P. Juniors, the Ethan McKinney, who I think could be all ACC this year, Joseph Ionata, right guard Malachi Carney, who has NFL potential, and Jamison Race, who's going to be a first-time starter for the Yellow Jackets. As far as the offensive line, they have to be mean, they have to be nasty. Coach Key has talked about wanting to get bigger, wanting to get stronger, wanting to get faster, and wanting to create size on this offensive line. Did not like where it was, and we've seen it with the recruiting. Getting guys like Kyle Johnson, Joshua Semenpel, Braylon Mills, big boys up front in order to, lay the foundation of what this team is going to be. All right, offensive line is where it starts. Second and most important piece, I think, is going to be your running game. That is your engine outside of, obviously, the offensive line. This running game has to be on point. I think they're going to have the efficiency this year, but they're going to have to be able to trust their other backs as well, right? It's not just Justice Haynes, right? It's not just Malachi Hosey, who's a Lamborghini Ferrari. You're going to need J.P. Powell, Traylon Maddox, Chad Alexander, right? Shane Marshall. I think all these guys get touches this year. I know about Justice Haynes. He's preparing and getting ready for one final year before he goes to the NFL. All right. But you have a very deep and talented roster. And it's going to be interesting to see different things, different formation. What does Jimmy Smith do coming over from TCU? How does he use these backs to the best advantage? He's a hell of a recruiter. But how does he develop these guys? And does he use the whole system of backs this upcoming year? But the running game has to be good, and that coincides with the play of the offensive line this year. That all is going to set up, right, Alberto Mendoza, who's the next important piece of this offense at the quarterback spot. All he has to do is manage the game. Manage the game, make the right throws when it's there, turn the ball down the field. And I think what's going to be able to show people this year is the athleticism, right? His ability to run in open space, his ability to run for 40, 50-plus yards. Y'all see me break down this tape and everything like that. This guy can do that at a very consistent rate and a very consistent level. That is how special and how good he is, okay? So this is somebody I think this year most people are going to sleep on. They have him, I think, as the number 15 ranked quarterback in the ACC, which I think is blasphemy. But he's a guy with the tight ends. That's going to be special pieces this upcoming year for Georgia Tech, right? And for him, if you coach George Gotts, the offensive coordinator, it's simple. Use the run game, play action, and I think it's get him in the rhythm early, right? Especially early in the season. When you got it down pat, that's different. But Colorado, Tennessee, even that road game against Stanford, get him in the rhythm early. Quick, easy throw to tight ends. You got guys like Gavin Harris, Kevin Roche Jr., right? Spencer Mermans, Chris Corbo. You got all these guys that can block and obviously catch the ball over the middle of the field in intermediate areas, right? Lean on that early in games. Lean on quick flare screens to those guys. Lean on quick throws that allows him to generate a rhythm in the game. Then you can start using the play action to go deep down the field, hit the wide receivers, right? Wide receivers going to play a component. But if I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking, okay, we got to get him in a rhythm early, running the football, getting into the tight ends, and then we start to get the wide receivers involved, and we do that, right? That's going to be a prime component of how good Georgia Tech is going to be in 2026. It's that simple. If they follow that formula, I'm not saying my formula is the best, but I feel like if they follow that, this would be a very formidable team in 2026. It's that simple, right? Because you take the pressure off Mendoza, offensive line is playing at a heck of a level. You can run the ball that feeds into play action, which is going to get Mendoza in the rhythm, leads into tight end, and then you can start hitting the wide receivers, deep plays down the field, right in them in a rhythm, getting them going. Anything outside of that, it can be a long season for Georgia Tech. But if they do that formula, I think this should be a pretty formidable team this upcoming season. But it starts with offensive line and being able to run the ball. Now, defensively for Georgia Tech, right? It's pretty simple, right? You got to create pressure on the quarterback. I think this is the year they're going to be able to do that. Strong in the trenches, Tawfiq Thomas, Christian Speakman, Christian Garrett. They got the antennas finally in order to make a difference on the defensive line. Noah Carter, Jordan Walker, Braylon Manley, Andre Fuller, Montre Bradford, right? AJ Hoffler. They got a whole bunch of rotation guys they can put in there too, right? So it's going to keep these guys fresh. When you need that game-changing, game-wrecking play in the fourth quarter, you know who to go to. When you need that big difference, you know who to go to. That is going to make all the difference in the world, in my humble opinion, right? Especially for the Yellow Jackets. So to me, it starts with the line for Georgia Tech. It don't start with linebacker. It don't start with the safeties, which we're going to talk about here later. It starts with the defensive line. It has to be better. You have to get off the field on third down. As we're at number 71. I think number 88 in run defense last year. Those have to improve this year if Georgia Tech's going to take that step forward. They still won 9 games, but that is their reality. They're not going to be a good football team when it comes to it. That has to be much better, right? Period. Then that leads me to linebackers. If the defensive line, sometimes they're double team, if they can go and there's a gap in there, the linebackers simply have to tackle better. The tackling was subpar last year. It has to be better. EJ Lightsey, Kyle Efert, Keeman Spalding, Melvin Jordan, right? Braylon Outlaw, Kamani Morales, you know what I'm saying? CJ Gamble. You're going to have to tackle better inside those crevices of those holes. And when they try to bounce it outside, you're going to have to be to make those plays, right? Very rarely should it get to the second level of the defense. You shouldn't be getting to Savion Riley and Phoenix Felton and Tay Harris. It should be getting to the linebackers. They have to tackle better and get more TFLs this year. That's going to be a big difference. It can't be just the defensive line. That's the proponent of it, but the linebackers have to be better. And I think, too, with the linebacker room, they have to cover better, right? Tight ends, running backs, right? Those are your main tasks. Keeman Spalding is the name that comes to my mind. Need to cover better in those situations, in those one-on-one situations and predicaments. If they can do that, there's going to be a much better team. And last but not least, the secondary. Jalen Mbakwe, right? Daquan White, who I'm very high on. Zach Toby, Elgin Sessions, right? Jaden Terry coming in there. Travis Stevenson, right? Jonas DeClona, right? We need to see who's going to emerge opposite side of Jalen Mbakwe. I think Mbakwe is going to be your starter, right? Barring anything, I could be wrong. This is just me guessing. But I feel like Mbakwe is going to be starter. Who's going to be opposite side of him? That's one of your biggest questions, in my humble opinion. Who's going to be opposite side of him? It's going to obviously generate a lot, right? So it starts there, okay? From that point, once you have that locked down, we'll see if there's any rotation this year. You can't get beat on big plays down the field. Big plays hurt Georgia Tech last year, right? Can't be giving up the big plays deep down. That's not advantageous, right? That's tough, okay? So I think that's the next thing right there, right? Can't give up the big plays. Need better coverage, right? And that fits into the scheme of system that Jason Seymour is going to run and deploy, right? Because now you can cut on the ball. Now you can try to get the PBUs and the interceptions, right? Because now you're not playing passive defense where you're playing zone, all right? That's important. Then the safeties have to tackle better, right? If the linebackers do miss, you can't miss as a safety. Like that running back can't get past you, right? They can't break the second line. So young guys, Tay Harris, Phoenix Felton, I think they are equipped for the job, but they got to get it done. If they don't get it done, it's going to be a long day, long night, right? They got to get it done. And then coverage, right? Being disciplined, communicating, right? If the corner does get beat and you're playing cover 3 spread, can you be over the top? If the corner gets beat and you're running corners coverage, can you come over top? If you're running man-to-man and it's a single high, get over there and help you out, right? That's going to be important because corners are good players, but it's the toughest position. They're not going to always be in position. You need your safety to step up there too, right? So all that you're asking, well, Naj, you haven't answered the question. Those are the ingredients of what's going to make Georgia Tech good this year, in my humble opinion. All that has to coincide and go and work together. All right. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit of the pie or the whole pie before I got into it. Now, how good would they be? I think Georgia Tech has a chance to be very good this year. When we look at the schedule, a winnable game against Colorado, right? They're going to have to get pressure on Juju Lewis, who is very talented, and even his offensive coordinator said potentially has an NFL arm, right? Doesn't get much easier against Tennessee, who likely is projected as a starter, and Faison Brandon. All eyes are going to be on you September 12th, right, against Tennessee. But you want to make a statement, that's the game to make a statement. Tennessee, Volunteers, right? No better game to show you for real. And you're playing probably a starter that's going to be just in his second game. You got to handle business. And it's at home, at Bobby Dodd, you can't ask for a better spot. Handle business in the first 2 games, you're off to a great start. Then you have Mercer, winnable game, right? Stanford, another game, tough, on the road, 10:30 kick. You're going to have to be focused. That's a mental warfare game, right? All right? Handle business, do your thing, you should be fine. Now, after the Stanford game, you get a bye. So over there, you're off, right? So you reset from that long road trip. So coming up against Duke on the 10th, flat, ain't going to cut it. Ain't going to cut it. There's no way in hell you should come out in that game flat against Duke. You should handle business and do what you need to do. There's no excuses in that one. Then Virginia Tech, that's going to be a tough game. That's going to be a tough game. Going to Blacksburg, late October, on the road, that's a tough game. All right, period. Virginia Tech will be tough. All right, that's probably the one I got circled so far right now with the L. But I do think you can get off to a 5-1 start. Boston College, you should win. Pittsburgh on the road, it's going to be tough, right? Going up there and trying to play there, Mason Heitstrel, you know how good he is. It's going to be a tough game, right? Should be able to handle business, all right? Louisville, that's going to be tough. That's my second L for Georgia Tech. Then you lose that one to Louisville, right? At that point, you're about, what, 6-2, 7-2, 6-2, right? Wake Forest on the road, then you can win that game, right? At that point in the schedule, you're 9-2, right? Georgia, you're back in that same territory you was last year. 9-2, if you beat them, you in, right? 5-2 might be good enough to get into the ACC Championship game, depending on how the standings go. We've seen the tiebreaker update as well, right? So that's the one I got circled. Like Georgia, that's why I said 9 wins. Because that's tough. Going on the road to Georgia, who's expected to be a national championship contender this year with Gunnar Stockton and Nate Frazier. Expected to be a really good football team. That's tough. Road rivalry. They've owned you. Tough game, right? But if you can handle your business, it makes a big difference, right? So that's why I said 9-3 for Georgia Tech. But they can easily win 10 games. But one of these, you're going to have to turn one of these L's into a W. Whether that's Louisville, right, or VT. You know what I'm saying? One of these games, you got to turn to W. Period. And then you're going to have to handle your business on the road. It's that simple. So how good do I think Georgia Tech's going to be is the question in the thumbnail. I think they can win 9 games, which is not bad. Nobody's thinking they're going to win 9 games with two new coordinators, offense and defense, a new running backs coach, a new defensive backs coach, a new linebackers coach, right? And a team that looks vastly different. No Haynes King, right? No Jamal Haynes anymore. Whole, 4 new tight ends, new wide receivers. Nobody's expecting Georgia Tech to win 9 games. Be real with y'all. Only person that's expecting is in the building is Georgia Tech. Staff, all them people. Besides that, nobody's expecting Georgia Tech to win no damn 9 games. They're going to look at me crazy as hell if I go there and say that. Don't care. I think Georgia Tech can win 9 games. I do. The difference is, can they beat Georgia? Georgia's been kind of their Achilles heel. Can they finally get over the hump? If they get over the hump, they're going to reach 10. If they can't get over the hump, it's going to be 9 games. So I think they're going to be a good football team. I think they're going to be in every game. And they need to be able to get over the hump and be able to make some noise this year. They have everything they need. Defense is going to be a lot better this year. Better scheme, better fit. And I think this team has everything offensively. If they follow that formula, I think they're going to be a pretty damn good football team. So that's my thoughts, y'all. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Hype up the video. I want to give you guys a little bit of video before, obviously, we're going to be en route, you know what I'm saying, at Charlotte tomorrow. We're in Charlotte right now, but we'll be at ACC Media Days tomorrow for Georgia Tech. Get all that good footage for y'all and be at the post, man. So appreciate y'all coming. Appreciate y'all tapping in with me. All right. Let me know other video ideas y'all want to see. And I'll see y'all tomorrow in Charlotte. All right. Till next time, y'all know what it is. Always peace and love. And I'll see y'all soon.